Welcome to another edition of the Tom Greene Show. Ladies and gentlemen, our studio is back. We are ready for another edition of the Tom Greene Show from the Tom Greene Studios. From the Tom TV 23 Studios, I am back, ready for some fantasy football and NFL football, of course. Glad to be back. You see, I got my hair cut. And unfortunately, we have some bad news. If you watched my last video, Landon had said that we were going to the Tigers game on September 22nd. That is not going to happen, my friends, because unfortunately we forgot to claim the 4 free tickets before they were taken by another party. So unfortunately that it won't happen. But anyway, week 1. The season's back, the studio's back, and we're ready for some football. But you see I'm doing this video a little early because of the Democratic National Convention. I'm no politician, my friends, but come on. Reschedule football due to Democratic National Convention? This makes me sick. Anyway, to my fantasy picks. This week, the revamped Essexville Greene Monsters face the UNOH Racers, headlined by, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan Barber. Correct me if I'm wrong with the last name. But, quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger against Cam Newton. Unfortunately, this time we have an NFL.com league. They picked Cam Newton over Roethlisberger. Running backs, Michael Turner against Jamal Charles. Although Turner is a risk for myself because he doesn't get a lot of touches in Atlanta because of the wide receiving core there. Jamal Charles expected to win that one. A returner, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis against LaShawn McCoy from Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy expected to win that one. See, my friends, I'm starting not to like these picks because they're against me, of course, but you'll like this one. Megatron for wide receivers against Anquan Bolden. This time they decided to go with me and pick Megatron. Thank you, because Megatron's boss. Anyway, James Jones against Eric Decker. They predict Eric Decker to win that. Tight ends, Jermichael Finley against Aaron Hernandez. Once again, Aaron Hernandez from the other team expected to win that one. I just got a text from Facebook, so we'll regard that later. Anyway, flex player this week, I have C.J. Spiller, the running back from Buffalo, against Demaryius Thomas. They've expected Demaryius Thomas to win that one. Kickers, we have Matt Prater, who was a big part of last season for Denver, and Tim Tebow, against Garrett Hartley. This one they expect Prater to win that one. Defenses, I got the Bears against the Eagles. This one they have projected a tie, a push. But in the wins, and who's going to win this one? NFL projects the Racers to win this one, 131 to 109. My disagreements, almost all of them, but I guess I'll headline. Jermichael Finley, I think, is going to have a better week than people expect. C.J. Spiller will come out good. Besides that, I just hope to win my first ball game. Of course, tradition on Tom TV 23. paper football. Anyway, this year, Landon, who could not make it to tonight's show, and I will be playing against each other we will pick every single game in the NFL. Who wins? Whoever has the most wins something, or a loser does something. Well, that, my friends, is to be determined. But we have our picks for all 16 games in Week 1. First off, we start out Wednesday night, the Giants against Dallas. Both of us picked the Giants there. We move on to the Bears against Indy. I have the Bears, and Landon picked Andrew Luck. Kansas City against Atlanta, we both picked Atlanta. Cleveland against Philly, we both picked the lost cause, Philadelphia. Saints against Washington, we both went against RG3 there and picked New Orleans. Detroit versus St. Louis, of course, Megatron rules. Tennessee against New England, easy, Patriots. Minnesota against Jacksonville, we have a disagreement there. I picked the upset Jacksonville on the road, while Landon picked to Skol Vikings, Minnesota. Jets against Buffalo, we both picked the Jets. Houston, Miami, we both picked the Texans. No Chad Johnson in Miami, no wins. Cardinals against Seattle, we both picked Russell Wilson in Seattle. Green Bay against San Fran, we have disagreements here. I picked the Packers at home. He picked the upset San Fran, Trent Robinson. Tampa Bay against Carolina, we both picked Tampa. Denver against Pittsburgh, the Sunday night game. I picked Peyton Manning. He picked Ben Roethlisberger, plain and simple. 2 Monday night games this week, a doubleheader since it's Week 1. The first one being Baltimore against Cincinnati. We both picked Baltimore. And then the late game, Oakland against San Diego. Landon picked Oakland, and while I picked San Diego on the road. My friends, I'm glad to be back in the studio. Week 1, and by the way, I think I already gave my shout out to Great Lakes Sports Network, but if I didn't, Great Lakes Sports Network is now watching our videos. And I'd like to welcome them. I'd like to say enjoy my vids. I hope they're great. Shout out to Great Lakes Sports Network for that. Anyway, I am done. Hopefully my picks are great. We'll see you Week 2, if not before. Great to be back in the studio.
Megatron!